the vision, the creation, the journey. This is Beyond the Page, a series of intimate conversations with creators of children's content, navigating their personal lives while reaching youth and families through arts and literacy. Let's go beyond the page with your host, Keisha Nelson.
Hey everyone. Now, I'm always excited for each guest, and this week is like none other. I am so excited for Mr. Mike Fields, who joins us today as lots of things. A STEMfluencer. Yeah, we're going to get into that. He embraces edutainment, education, and entertainment together through his science experiments. He engages kids through churches and organizations and at schools, out of school time, in school time, y'all. This is Mike Takes on Science. Mike, welcome.
Hey, how you doing? Hi.
Mike, I'm so excited to have you here today.
I'm containing my excitement, but I'm very excited. Very excited.
Well, you contain yours. I'm not going to contain mine. Literally, Mike, I've known you a really long time,
yes.
double-digit numbers.
Oh my goodness.
And one theme that I feel like I've experienced from you is you are so good at working with kids.
Thank you.
Mike, you really, honestly, I've seen you work with young people, and I feel like you have just a very good expertise in that area. Tell me a little bit about where that came from. Tell me where your stomping grounds of youth development, where did that come from?
Okay. I feel like working with kids is a calling. I didn't wake up and be like, I want to work with kids.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking back, it probably started in Sunday school, seeing my mom teach children. And somebody saw that in me. Somebody said, you'd be good at this organization doing this type of work in education. And when I got there, I didn't believe it. It took a little while for me to get acquainted with the work, but it was natural to me. And
Yeah. So I feel like that's really interesting because, I'm big on I feel like everybody got their start in church some kind of way. Somebody saw something in you and then they threw you on stage or they threw you wherever, which I really appreciate that. But, and now that you are deep into this work, what would you say are some of the kind of pieces of your youth development gumbo? What are some things that you feel are really, really important that you carry with you when you engage with young people?
Yes. A sense of belonging, just making sure that kids feel like they belong in a space. Kids feel like they are in a safe space.
Yeah.
And then confidence building.
Yeah.
When I'm working with kids, I want to make sure that they feel like they can contribute something. And so that's why I'm looking for their strengths.
Yeah.
To say, you can do this or you can do this. And then eventually they find out that they do have other strengths that they can tap into.
That's really, really cool because I honestly, I would have thought that with you, being this basically a young black Bill Nye the Science guy in these streets, I feel like you would have said oh, science is super important. We want to make sure that kids get exposure to science. But you're talking about something that's deeper, something that's sense of belonging is heavy. That's real. That's important. How do you do that? How do you merge science, which sometimes can make people feel intimidated or, a little shy because science can be a hard subject, especially as you get older. How do you kind of merge those two worlds of science and sense of belonging and some of these social emotional values that we want kids to walk away with?
Yes. So I know with science, there's a ladder. It gets more complex with time. But I like to introduce themes that are fun, that I feel like everybody can do. And maybe it'll spark something in them to say, hey, I do like coding because I was able to work with this little robot. I know that it's going to be tough, but at least it's not taboo to them anymore. They've heard the word coding or programming and they've seen it in a fun way. And I'm just realistic with them that it will get more tough later on.
That's good.
But let's just get the exposure to it.
Yeah. I feel I love the idea of like deconstructing like these big science concepts so that they become accessible for kids. Walk us through a little bit of Mike Takes on Science, because I've experienced it several times. I love it, and to watch and observe how the kids take in the experience of science is really, really cool. So can you share a little bit more about like what that experience is like? Let's say you're going to a birthday party or you're preparing for like whatever audience. What does it look like? What do you want to make sure that the kids kind of take away, or what is that process for you?
I mean, definitely super fun. And I always say, I like how science looked in the movies. Right. So I'm not so much about the textbook. I want to bring the textbook to life. And so anything that looks super fun and exciting, safe explosions and chemistry, mixing stuff together, things boiling over. I want to do things that kids probably haven't done before. I want them to say, wow, I've never done this before. This is super fun. I want to go back to that class. That's my goal. Like, is to see if I can get kids excited enough to say, that class is super fun. I'm going to that class.
How do you, like, what kind of feedback have you gotten back from kids when they, embrace the experience and they're a part of it? What do you feel like they gain most, or what do they say they feel like they gain most?
They always say, they say, this was the best day ever.
Wow.
This was so fun. Like, this is the most fun I've ever had. These are the things that I hear. And I always hear parents talk about my patience with kids. How I can, I can work with kids in a create a chaos environment.
Wait, stop right there. I love that. Creative chaos.
Yes.
What is that? Like, break that down for us. Like, what does that look like? Because I'm telling you, I'm thinking of like my parent side, I'm thinking of my educator side. Chaos is like the absolute last thing. Adjective that I want to use to describe any space, any shared space with my kids. What is creative chaos?
Creative chaos is structured like play, like maker space. Repurposing cardboard to build something. Music playing. Maybe there's a screen showing a tutorial. Everybody's just working at their own pace and how they like to work, but they're having a lot of fun, and people are walking back and forth. Sort of like engineers, kid engineers, interacting with one another and just having a lot of fun.
So I heard you talk a little bit about your patience earlier, and I've also observed your patience, which, we talk a lot about that in education, is like, you need to have patience. We know that that's something that you need to have, but it can be really tough at times because sometimes we want kids to do what we want them to do, and they want to do what they want to do. So talk to us a little bit about like, how are you able to harness that patience in the moment, especially when you have these big experiments, you're blowing things up, or you have like, these chemical reactions, you have different things happening. Like, how do you balance the kids who want to like be super hands-on or the kids who may not necessarily want to sit down, they're too excited? How do you harness all of that all together?
I think when I go in encouraging excitement, I don't ever want to dim excitement. I know that what I'm looking for is a breakthrough. And once I can get kids engaged, I know that everything will control will happen. It's just about getting that breakthrough and letting kids get that excitement out, and then reintroducing whatever activity or enrichment I'm trying to show them.
So, I love that, because I think it helps us to think a little bit more critically about how we can utilize the energy that kids have and kind of redirect it, in a way that can be positive, in a way that can be uplifting, and not necessarily, make them feel bad about themselves, especially academically. And so, like, I'm thinking about our youth developers who might be, watching and might be feeling a little like burnout. Have you ever experienced that? Because I know that you've consistently worked with youth for a really long time. How do you avoid burnout and kind of re-engage and reenact your own energy so that you can remain fresh and excited and bring that kind of edutaining, personality to the space?
Well, for me, burnout happens when I can't be creative the way I want to be creative, or if I don't have the tools to deliver an experience the way I want to. So I kind of go in as typically a boundary of this is what I need to make sure that kids get the best out of this experience. So as long as I like what I'm doing and I'm happy with what I'm doing, typically that's what I continue to bring to like learning spaces.
Yeah.
I don't try to do fun activities that I don't like.
Right.
I have to love it so I can bring it to the kids, and so I don't get burned out because I love what I'm doing in that moment.
Yeah, I can totally see that. I think a lot of times, and I love that you have the creative control, right? To be able to ensure that, okay, yes, I can choose whatever experiment I want to do. I can engage kids in whatever kind of way I want to do. So talk to us about these experiments. Like, what is the most exciting thing you've been able to do? And where do you see this going? Like, how far do you see Mike Takes on Science? What would you like to see it become?
Well, I would like a brick and mortar. I would like a building. You know, I would like a official place. Mike Takes on Science. That's like a makerspace, a family entertainment. I'm really about like family and intergenerational learning, grandparents, parents, and kids, you know, playing together, doing science together. And I would hope to be able to do it at an affordable rate. You know what I'm saying? Because like I get like how expensive things are. And like kids need enrichment and they want to do fun things, but stuff costs so much. So my prayer is that if I get a brick and mortar, I can offer services at an affordable rate. So. Yeah,
that's exciting. Like a museum, a discovery museum.
Yes,
like
a theater.
Kids can be able to go in and discover and be hands-on.
Absolutely.
I love that, Mike. Okay, Mike.
Yeah.
So listen, Mike, so I really, really, really want you to think about like parents, and you said you really embrace that intergenerational space. What would be like some tips that you would give to parents who are hoping to be able to, you know, create a makerspace at home or to create makerspace experiences for their kids? What kind of like tips would you give them, or how would you encourage them to deconstruct their thinking around creative chaos?
Yes. I would say like, see what's at home. Look at recyclables that you have. What things can you repurpose? Can you come up with little challenges, building challenges? Can you build this house out of 4 pieces of cardboard? You know, just coming up with what you already have before you go buy and purchase a lot of things. And honestly, Googling like affordable activities to do at home. There's a lot of websites out there that will give you tips on that.
Yeah. And I totally see that too, Mike, because, you know, now that you're talking about kind of like the tips and the things that we can do at home with our kids, it sounds like that in that, you know, act, it creates a sense of belonging even within your family. You know, to be able to enrich them, to say, let's do this thing together. Let's be able to have a shared memory. Let's be able to like experience this thing in this specific time and place together.
The bonding. I love like the bonding of it.
You know, so. The bonding. So what we should be doing is we should be considering like looking up and researching some easy, like at home things that we have. What do we have at home, Mike, that we can be utilizing in science? What are some did you know things that like parents may not necessarily know or be thinking about to say like, hey, I didn't know that could be science too?
Well, I'm gonna say this because as somebody that does a lot of science with kids, I'm collecting stuff all the time, right? And I'm rebuying stuff over and over again. So I mean, just like, you probably already bought the LED lights you need to build this homemade flashlight. You know what I mean? You probably already have the electrical tape to do this like tech activity. So it's just go shopping at home. I'm saying like, see what's there before you continue to rebuy. Because I'm guilty of that when I'm doing parties, birthday parties and stuff for kids. I have stuff accessible to me, but I have so much of it that it gets lost sometimes. So
Mike, we almost have to like wrap, but one clear experiment that I have been able to do with you, which was really fun, was we made our own outdoor like solar powered s'mores.
Yes.
It was so cool. It was so much fun. Tell me a little bit about like that, like walk us through that, so that parents now can know like you already have these things at home, because we did have those materials at home.
And that's a perfect example of what I mean about repurposing. So the brown paper bag from back in the day, that's like, I was thinking like they're out on the field trip, they already have this bag of supplies. So it was the brown paper bag, it was a little aluminum container, of course, your graham crackers, your marshmallows, and your chocolate.
Gotta have
but
that
the sun is
chocolate.
already outside for us, right?
Yeah.
And so as we're on our field trip, we can go stop somewhere and get this thing melting and going. And you can sit it outside for a couple hours in a safe space, obviously. I'm all about like stretching activities out.
Yeah.
So like multitasking. We're going to the museum, but we have this little bag of recyclables that we're going to turn into a STEM activity.
Yeah.
Okay,
so Mike,
yes.
You are going to be doing an experiment with us today. Tell us a little bit about the experiment. Is this something that we can also do at home?
You can do it at home. What I have though is like a big demo of it, right?
Okay.
Now I grew up loving volcanoes. Like, wow, that's so amazing. Like the act of nature. But one thing about volcanoes is once you make them, the experiment could be over in 2 seconds. You can mix that, baking soda and vinegar, and you're done.
And you have the explosion.
So I said, well, I wanted to build a volcano that was like kid size, that I could engage the kids with. They can do their own thing in their own spaces, but bring everybody back together at some point and talk about, what's going on inside of that volcano, how those plates are smashing against each other, and we're going from magma to lava. So it's just cool. And October's coming up, so we know we got a lot of fall festivals and smoky, spooky science, and that's a good way to kind of welcome that in, volcanoes and dinosaurs, and so it's
exactly.
Cool.
So you have created this jumbo volcano.
Yes.
So that kids can be able to experience it in a really big way, which is important, right? Like it's one thing to see something very small, and to your point around like once it explodes, it's over.
Yeah.
And what did it take for you to be able to create this jumbo-sized volcano? What did you have to do?
I'm gonna tell you, it's been a lot of challenge transporting this volcano, because the car got to be big enough to fit this volcano.
Right.
So like we jamming this in the back seat at this point right now, right? And thinking about the engineer design process, the cosmetics of the volcano stuff fall off. It starts tilting over, the structure. So this is like the third build. So I'm still going through the engineer design process for it. But I think that's cool to bring it to the classroom and talk about what it means to like fail at something and try again.
Yeah, I think that's really important life lesson in addition to like a science lesson. How do you like transition what they see, like these big experiments, into practical like science tips that they can take home with them? Like, do you have conversations with their teachers around like the curricula, or do you like give them handouts? Like, what does that look like? Yeah,
I always like research like the science standards for each state.
Oh, wow.
To make sure. So again, I'm putting in that educational piece, but I'm definitely twisting it to make it real fun.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a lot of learning mixed in with that fun.
Yeah, that's really cool. Well, I'm excited to see this experiment.
Yes.
And let's get to it.
Okay.
We're gonna blow something up, or we're gonna make something.
A little bit. We will wait for October to really get it going, but we're gonna just give a little preview of it.
To see like some molten lava.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yep. All right.
Let's do it. That's really, really cool.
Yes.
Mike, I'm excited for Mike Takes on Science. I'm excited to be able to walk into that maker space with our family, to be able to experience it. And I'm really excited also to even kind of like think differently about the discourse that I have with my kids at home around making and creating and science, and kind of bringing that into their space so that we can have more bonding activities at home, right?
Yes.
Mike, thank you so much for your time today. I'm really excited. And y'all, listen, stay connected because we're getting ready to do a hands-on experiment. Mike, thank you so much for joining us today. I can't wait to see all of the amazing things that happen with Mike Takes on Science.
And
y'all stay tuned. Y'all stay connected because we're going to have some fun. See you later.
Hey everybody, my name is Michael Fields of Michael Fields Vision, and this is a Mike Takes on Science experience. And today we're going to work with this volcano. We know that the fall is coming up, and it's going to be a lot of like fall festivals and that mad friendly scientist, spooky science. So our goal today is to make this volcano smoke up a little bit. We want to think about magma becoming lava and this volcano heating up. And in real life, that's 200 degrees Fahrenheit, right? So let's check it out. I'm gonna use something called, I want you to look up the term frozen gas and see what you get. I'm gonna go ahead and drop a little bit of that inside of this volcano. And as you can see, it's very cold. It's 110 degrees below zero. And it's not like the ice at home. The ice at home melts this ice evaporates, but this is going to help us kind of demo what happens during a volcanic eruption. All right, so I'm using hot water. Now this water is very hot, so you see I got my gloves on, and I always believe in having my lab gear to be safe. And this is a safer activity, but again, we're demoing what happens during a volcano. So we're kind of today just showing it. This is a preview of some of the stuff we'll be doing in October. All right, so as you're getting ready for like your science parties, your fall festivals, some hot water and some frozen gas will give you that effect. And again, we're gonna be teaching around those tectonic plates inside of the volcano smashing together, how it's turning into magma, and then soon will become lava. And so it will be anticipation for the lava when we do this during our parties or we'll be in the classroom. But again, we're just gonna show this, at an expedited pace. I know that with lava, and we can try, I have some color tablets here, so just to see if we can change the color of the water a little bit or give it that like lava effect. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and get some good old dish soap, and I'm going to drop it here. Let's see if we can get that eruption effect. Okay. So, and if we want to move that, all right, so we got our lava coming up, but to move it a little bit faster, I just have to drop a little bit more soap, some more water in there, so we can get that volcanic eruption and not getting too messy today, not getting too messy. So yeah, that'll be your big demo, but you'll be doing a lot of smaller volcanoes at your seats and at your tables and at your parties. But this will be fun for kids to continue to revisit throughout your learning time, or your fun time. All right, colors. Oh, yeah. We can get some more of this water in here as well to see if we can get something going. So we colored the water some to get that magma color a little bit. This water is really hot, but it does hit the dry ice, so it cools down quickly, but definitely the adults should have the hot water. And yep, so frozen gas, soap and water. And these bubbles have air, like vapors trapped in it, so it's a fun way for kids to come around and, after that water cools down, they can come and be a part of what's happening here, and they can touch the bubbles and the soap and stuff. Thanks again, y'all, for watching this experiment. I'm Michael Fields of Michael Fields Vision, and this experience is Mike Takes on Science.